let's talk metal straws. I think they're stupid, and I'm going to tell you why for two reasons. So starting out with the first reason, there's no need for metal straws. And it's pretty simple, really. Unless you are a baby, you are a infant who cannot lift a cup, or physically unable to due to disease or age or disability, hindrance, whatever. You can't do something like, say for example, lift your cup to your mouth. There's no need. And in the creation, distribution, the entire supply line, pretty much, of a metal straw, in all of that time, there's waste that is being produced. I'm going to run you through kind of how I would imagine the whole creation process goes. So first of all, you know, the minerals that go into it, whether it's aluminum or it's iron, to be made in steel, those get mined out of the ground. So you're creating damage there. Then you're refining that metal in a factory. Again, not fantastic for the environment. After you have this refined metal, you are refining it into metal straws. However they do that, whether they cast it, injection mold it, I don't know. Then, after it's made in a factory, which let's say this factory is overseas, let's say it's in China or India or somewhere, it needs to be sent overseas in a shipping boat. Shipping boats actually produce like the worst environmental damage because they use like the cheapest grade fuel available, which goes into the oceans and goes into the atmosphere and is choking out the world. So not very great. So you have these boats taking these overseas. So when you order a metal straw on Amazon, that's just a pretty basic of the overhead that goes into it. So you're creating this demand, which in turn has this supply that needs to fulfill that demand, which is creating environmental impact, environmental damage, which can all be mitigated by doing this. Just raising your cup to your mouth. Now, I understand if you are baby or disabled, you need that. You know what I mean? But your average college age, I don't know, upper class individual who has disposable income to be purchasing metal straws is not, in fact, physically incapable of doing one of these bad boys. So yeah, there's no need. The other thing is that the idea of the ecological impact of plastic straws is extremely blown out of proportion. You know, of course, the slogan that goes along with the idea of the metal straw is the whole save the turtles thing, right? Here's the thing. Let's say you use a plastic straw in Starbucks or McDonald's, Denny's. I don't know. I don't care. Those straws are going to be thrown into a garbage can, put in a dumpster. Dumpster goes to the dump, goes to a landfill. Unless you are living on the waterfront and you are littering, you aren't going to be contributing plastic waste into the oceans with plastic straws. I think it's absolutely absurd that people create this little slogan, right? Because their plastic straws, likely speaking, aren't winding up into the water somehow. Save the turtles, whatever the fuck that means, right? Because their plastic straws, likely speaking, aren't winding up into the water somehow. Say, for example, you live in Colorado or Wyoming or even Wisconsin, anywhere that is not immediately on the ocean, right? And you have a plastic straw and you throw it in the garbage can. How the hell does that make any sense that it's winding up in the ocean? Maybe I'm out of the loop. Maybe I don't know. But plastic straws, I really don't see as being a big of a threat to the world as they are. Are they wasteful? Of course they are. Here's the thing. Everything we do is wasteful. Commodifying this one particular kind of wastefulness and making it the devil, when in reality, that is the least of our fucking concerns is plastic straws is ridiculous to me. How anybody can think they're righteous for this crusade against this minute problem is silly. If we want to look at the actual causes of ecological damage, the number one cause of ecological damage, at least from the standpoint of damage to our air, is energy. Power production creates a ton of environmental damage, and we're extremely wasteful of that. We're always on these devices, you know, phones, computers, whatever else. We're always on these devices that are constantly using electricity, which does not come out of thin air. It comes out of coal, which is being burned, which is destroying the world. But no one is out here saying, buildings should all keep their lights off unless there's people actively walking through them, even though that's a demonstrably bigger problem. The biggest problem, specifically for the whole save the turtles stuff, fishing. It's the plastic that's created from fishing companies. It's not fucking plastic straws. That's less than 1% of the actual damage to the oceans. It's fishing companies. So if you want to come out here and say anything about, save the turtles, stop eating fish. It's just ridiculous how much we commodify plastic straws into being this one grand evil when we're constantly being wasteful, and plastic straws are the last thing we should care about, especially the waste created from this artificially high demand of metal straws. If you have any opinions about plastic or metal straws, remember to leave them in the comments below. I'm sure this video is going to get like 4 views and like 3 dislikes, so if any of you guys actually give 2 shits, let me know your thoughts on plastic straws, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.